As you can see, I am always prepared. Got my mask. You know what they say, you can never be too careful. And that's what we're doing this week at Avadaz Sustainable Acres. Not only are we making masks out of row cover and 2 rubber bands, but we are protecting our strawberries, not from the virus, but from the cold. So behind me here, this is one of our 2 patches that I covered with row cover. You can call it a mask, covering, whatever you want to say. And tonight it's going to get down to 37, and yes, that's not freezing temperature, but the weather, when they tell you the temperature it's going to be, that's at 5 feet high, shoulder width, or about, depends how tall you are, but for me, about shoulder height. But the difference in temperature from here and my feet, or where the strawberries are, can be anywhere from 8, 10, even 12 degrees if the conditions are just right. So we got to be prepared, not only for the virus, but for the cold.
How hot are you underneath there?
It's actually not too bad. Keeps my lips from chafing in the wind, or getting chapped. So this whole week is crazy cold. I've never seen it. I haven't been growing for 40 years, but in all of my time growing and working on a farm, I've never remembered it getting this cold this late. So every night it's looking like it's gonna be at least in the mid 30s. One night it's gonna be 29, which is crazy because these strawberries, here, the early variety is sending off some blooms. This is a later variety, but as you can see, these buds are really just starting to pop out, and you think, well, what's gonna hurt those? You know what, there's aphids on there too. That's not good. But even before the blooms open, they can be very susceptible to frost. So I think when they open, it's about 30 degrees that the blooms will freeze and die, and you won't get a berry. At this point, where they're just emerged, when they're just coming out, it's like 22, they say, but that's about when you can barely see them. At this point, it's probably upper 20s that it could do some damage. So we're prepared. This covering will provide about 4 to 6 degrees buffer. So if it's 37 tonight, it's probably, my guess is going to be about 30 degrees at ground level. This hopefully will provide 4 to 6 degrees cover, so we hopefully will be all right with just the row cover tonight to keep the berries safe. But we just set up overhead irrigation this year. So when it gets down to 29, it could possibly get down to 20 degrees. And so this row cover is not going to be enough. We're going to have the row cover, and we're going to have to run overhead irrigation to keep it from freezing. So the constant moisture on the ground will keep the ground temperature warm enough as long as you keep the water going. If you have a hiccup and the water stops, then it actually does more damage. So that's what we're doing today here at Avadaz Sustainable Acres. And we're going to be not only taking precautions ourselves, but precautions for our produce, so we can give you the highest quality and best produce we can. Thanks for watching. Eat well, live well.